Hello, friends and foes. Welcome back to The Moment Live. It's your old pal, Meredith Lynch. We've got a Super Bowl spectacular for you. Also, great time to bet on Polymarket about how many times Meredith brings up CTE on this episode. It is a problem in the NFL. I'm so excited because, as always, I have my friend, my partner in crime, Rebecca Senenez, in the house today, and she's back and better than ever, folks. Carolina Montesquieu, you know her, you love her. She's a Dominican-American stand-up comedian living in New York City, kids. You probably recently saw her on Subway Takes. She's since opened for Hannibal Buress, Vladimir Cavano, and Riddell Ortiz. She's featured on Veep's Newcomers Showcase with upcoming tapings being released for Cracked Comedy Club. Dude, that's huge. And OnlyFans, LMAOF?
OS? Yes.
Wait. Oh, okay.
That's my ass.
Black on my ass, OnlyFans.
Oh, Jesus.
Whoa.
It's cute. It's cute.
I just think that, like, it's so burned in my brain to say LMFAO that, you know, so I guess when they approach
Rest
me
in peace to that duo.
Wait, are they no longer with us?
They're messy. No, they didn't die. They just don't like each other.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Listen, the music industry is complicated. Dead to you, perhaps. Today on the show, we have a lot to talk about. We are, of course, going to talk about the Super Bowl, but we also want to talk about this really horrible and devastating thing that is happening in the bizarre kidnapping of today's show hosts Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy Guthrie. We're going to talk about Rebecca's special interest, Tulsi Gabbard's whistleblower complaint, and the strange letter from a senator to the CIA. Then later, it's our Trump and FBI election interference and fears, and we'll wrap it up with some Bad Bunny and Super Bowl culture wars with Megan Gailey. All right, cheers to that. Let's talk about this. Unfortunately, we have a really sad story to kick it off with. I want to talk about this. The kidnapping of Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy, has been this really strange and sad story. And in case you missed it, Nancy Guthrie was last seen over the weekend. Her family reported her missing Sunday when she didn't show up to church. Authorities quickly escalated this to a suspected kidnapping. Investigators say Nancy had limited mobility and relied on daily medication, making it unlikely that she left on her own. Her home was treated as a crime scene, and blood that was found on the front porch has been linked to Nancy. It's also been discovered, and I feel like this was in the last 24 hours, that security cameras had been disconnected. And I think this is just one of those stories that has taken everyone sort of by absolute surprise. And then as it's continued, we've seen things like an alleged ransom note that's been circulating. It was sent directly to TMZ. And this is how the FBI, we actually have a clip, described that ransom note.
The ransom note that was distributed to the media did make a demand for 5 p.m. today. And if a transfer wasn't made, then I think a second demand was for next Monday. We're not going to go beyond that, but that was the ransom note the media received.
Did it indicate what would happen if they didn't meet that ransom?
We're not going to go into those specifics. Thank you.
Okay, and then we also have this video that Savannah Guthrie and her siblings made pleading to the kidnappers. I think we have a clip of that as well.
Our mom is our heart and our home. She is 84 years old. Her health, her heart is fragile. She lives in constant pain. She is without any medicine. She needs it to survive. She needs it not to suffer. We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media. As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk.
I mean, there's been a lot of investigation to possible suspects. I know that people were saying that her brother-in-law was a suspect because I think he was the last person to see Nancy Guthrie, because he dropped Nancy Guthrie had dinner at Savannah Guthrie's sister's house. She'd taken an Uber there. They've investigated the Uber driver. Apparently he's been cleared. So there don't seem to be any clear suspects yet. And in the meantime, Trump has been putting that pettiness aside and saying that they're deploying all resources to get her mom home safely. Y'all, what do you make of this case?
I want to kick it
Hmm.
yeah, I want to kick it to Carolina.
It's just like another perfect storyline into this bizarro dimension that we live in. It doesn't make any sense. Why are they sending the ransom letter to TMZ? And why is it now that Trump feels like he has to say something about it? It just, everything, I mean, what a time for conspiracy theorists because, like, everything just feels like it's connected and they're like, oh, she's in the Epstein files. Like, I don't even know what to make of all of this. Like, it's a red herring, it's a distraction, it's all this, that. But, like, I mean, I wish it was my grandma, but like, I feel really bad for her. But it doesn't make any sense. And it's definitely either the family or related to like the administration or something. There's just too many different theories going around about it.
It's one of those stories where it's like it's hard not because I texted you last night, Meredith, and I was like, do you think this is politically motivated? And the reason that I asked that was because Trump is usually so like Rob Reiner, he was so petty with, and like,
Disgusting.
I mean, he has no problem being disgusting with people who, especially in the media, people who have like, not that she's spoken out against him, but she hasn't been like a friend.
She hasn't been doing him favors.
No. And I saw Megyn Kelly come to her aid too. And so there was something in me that I was like, is there something political happening here? Like how odd that like this is the one that they've connected to. And then the other thing that I was thinking about that is just like, okay, so in this ransom note, again, like we don't know for sure if it's real, but they're asking for Bitcoin. I think, I forget what exactly. They're asking for Bitcoin, which like, that's how I, millennial boomer, think of Bitcoin is like, yeah, it's for kidnappers who take people and want a way of like getting money untraceably. And the same time this week, there was a story about an Emirati royal right before Trump's inauguration last year, buying $500 million worth of stake in his personal cryptocurrency company, Trump's cryptocurrency company. And then Trump, like 6 months later, gave them a bunch of AI chips. And like, I just like to like, make a conspiracy even more like convoluted. I'm just saying, like, it's fascinating to see like this Savannah Guthrie case is like, that's where it would make sense that Bitcoin would show up as part of the conversation. To see it being used in like the highest levels of government is so bizarre. I don't know. Like
the whole theatrics of it is very Trump-esque. Like how
it's
they do
all
everything
very
else.
corrupt and it's hard to know what's real. And yeah, these things don't, I'm not saying that these things connect. It's just interesting to me that like, it makes sense that Bitcoin would show up here, much less that it would make sense in the Trump administration. So what do you think, Meredith?
It's interesting. I actually think that the reason that Trump is coming to the sort of aid of Savannah, which like, I mean, I don't know what him deploying all resources actually means, because I think like the Arizona, people would be like, excuse me, this is like our jurisdiction, etc. But this is my sort of conspiracy theory. Trump really needs Arizona. And I don't know about you, but like, I mean, this story is like very gut wrenching to me. And I think a lot of people, who have older folks in their lives, whether they be grandmothers or their own mother, are really sort of like, oh my God, like my grandma lives alone or my mother lives alone. God forbid she takes Uber. God forbid something like this happens to her, etc. So I think a lot of people are seeing themselves in Savannah and her siblings. I mean, like, I don't think that a lot of people think that their, parent is going to get kidnapped, but I think it's sort of like, God, if this could happen to anybody. And so I think that Trump needs to look really good here because it's, this is an older, innocent woman who was just like living her life, trying to go to dinner, trying to go to church. And so I think it looks really good for him, regardless of of what Savannah's like, not her politics, but what her reporting has been for him. Like his Fox News
is different than like LA, where he's like, they're never gonna vote for me,
So that's why he just went like full shit on Rob.
I mean, a little bit. Like I think it's possible, and like, also, this feels very 90s coded. We've got
Yeah.
a ransom letter. We've got people pleading to the television. I mean, I haven't seen that since like,
Today
Elizabeth
Show,
Smart.
right?
Right.
On top of it all, it's the Today Show. You know,
Right.
there's nothing more 90s than the Today Show.
So 90s is Fox coded is Trump coded. Like, to me, it just aligns with like, and also like, what's the average age of like a Fox viewer? 80
Yeah.
some, like, I mean, maybe not 80, but like it's older.
Or like
So-
65.
Right. So anyway, and I just, my heart goes out to Savannah and her siblings, and people have been like, oh, the brother's kind of weird. I'm like, how do you respond in that
Yeah.
moment? And
I
by
know.
the way, if I see one more fucking headline that's like, Savannah Guthrie won't be traveling to Milan for the Olympics. Yeah, what do you fucking think?
Yeah, you think? I know. I also saw somebody be like, watch this scene from Silence of the Lambs where the person reads a victim statement that sounds exactly like Savannah Guthrie's. And I'm like, that's not a conspiracy. It's that both were informed by FBI tactics. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, people are looking for conspiracies. Can I also just throw, this is like a total tidbit off but what you said about Arizona made me think this morning, this is like a little bit of a tangent, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to throw it out there. This morning, I saw a map that was all of the data that we have left and right everywhere of where ICE is in the country. And so like you can see it and there's like bubbles that pop up and it directly superimposes on the electoral map. Like you can look at it and you're like, exactly the places that ICE are exactly the places
Like
that
if you remember those maps from elementary school, you'd pick it up and it'd be like, oh, like
No,
this is where all the agriculture is.
Exactly.
It was like
exactly. Like it is, you look at where ICE is and it is literally the electoral map. It's like where there are blue,
which is
voters.
Arizona.
And then Arizona is this place where it's like, anyways, I just thought that was
anyway. Our heart goes out to Savannah and her siblings. I just will add, like, as you know, Savannah's dad died when she was in high school, and I've actually heard her talk. Yeah, he died when she was 16, and so I've heard her talk about her relationship to her mom, how it's like really unique. And as somebody whose mom died, when I was about that same age as Savannah, I know that feeling that you have about your one. And I'm not saying that but like when you lose a parent young and you have one parent left, you have this deep bond to that parent, and the idea that like you never want anything to hurt them, like anything. Yeah. So the idea that something like this could happen to them, I can't imagine what she and her siblings are going through, and we'll continue to keep an eye on this story. But Rebecca, there's a story you've been keeping an eye on, and you got to bring us up to speed because there's just so much going on here. And it does involve somebody ending a letter with thank you for your attention to this matter. So let's talk about it.
Okay, this is like a bizarre. Let's start with like, do you guys remember who Tulsi Gabbard is? Let's just start with who.
Sure.
Tulsi Gabbard ran for president as a Democrat. She then like switched parties. She has like a lot of weird connections in the world, but then she switched parties and now she's Trump's director of national intelligence, which is like the director of national intelligence oversees the CIA. And it's like really about foreign intelligence and like taking out what's like happening outside of the world into the United States. We haven't seen her a lot. In fact, she was doing yoga on the beach during the Venezuela raid, which like generally that's where the director of national intelligence would be, is like in foreign raids. Nowhere to be seen. Then all of a sudden she shows up in Georgia last week while the FBI raided the Fulton County voter data center. And she's now it's like this weird, she's like in the corner, which she has like no jurisdiction being there. Then it came out that Trump personally called her cell phone while she was there. She put him on speaker and he gave a pep talk to the FBI there. Like, that is unprecedented. Imagine if Joe Biden had given a call to the FBI when they were raiding Mar-a-Lago. Like,
because the thing I think it's important for people to remember is that the president and the FBI aren't really supposed to have a connection.
No,
right?
not at all. It's supposed to be a totally independent, right. And also Tulsi Gabbard is not supposed to be there. So that's happening. They're bringing back, all of this to say is they're bringing back an old favorite, the 2020 Stop the Steal. What is Tulsi Gabbard doing there? So that's weird to start with. And then like the even crazier story that came out this week is the Wall Street Journal reported that there is a whistleblower complaint against Tulsi Gabbard. So a whistleblower complaint is when somebody protected by law in, like, usually it's within the company or within like the organization, does a tip saying like, I've seen this malfeasance and it
Sure.
needs to go to the attention of the authorities. And so apparently over the course of 8 months, there's been this whistleblower complaint that is so dangerous to national security, quote unquote, according to the Wall Street Journal, that it has to be locked in a physical safe. A physical safe, like with a locked key. And they cannot figure out how to bring it to Congress. And by the way, like there's been all sorts of rumors, like Tulsi met with the Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad, I believe his name, who like butchered his people. There's been all sorts of like, is she a Russian asset? Like there's been a lot in there. So everybody's like, what is in this whistleblower complaint? And then the day before yesterday, Democratic Senator Ron Wyden, who's on the Intelligence Committee, so like this is where that whistleblower complaint would go, wrote an open letter to the CIA director saying that he wanted to show that he had a classified letter to him. Basically, like, it seems pretty clear that he wanted a paper trail saying like, hey, information. And then I also want to throw into a wild wrinkle just to like, you know, like throw chum in the water. Tulsi Gabbard was raised in, and we have no reason to believe she's not still in, a cult.
What cult?
It's an offshoot of the Hare Krishnas. It's like this guy.
Nice.
It's like it's a niche cult. I forget the name of it, but it's a niche cult. It was like a leader who was in the Hare Krishnas and then like has his own
broke out, did his own thing.
Yeah. And there's like, you know, I haven't done like a full deep dive on it, but like there's a lot of anti-gay and you know, a lot of Islamophobia, and like it's a culty cult. Anyway, so all of this to say is Tulsi has this weird connection to like investigating the 2020 Stop the Steal, which is very clearly about 2026 Stop the Steal, right? As we have an election come up. And then also, we don't know what this whistleblower complaint is. So that's been my special interest. And I just feel like but like, we're just like not paying enough attention to it for somebody who was basically invisible, you know, like was doing yoga on the beach during the Venezuela raid. So
well, I have a question, Rebecca.
Okay.
And that is like, what comes out of researching the 2020 election at this point? Like, to me, I'm kind of like, you fucking like, you're back there anyways. Like if I don't get something that I wanted, but then 4 years later I get it again, like I don't need to go back and like deep dive the thing that I didn't get. Like if you believe you want it, great.
Well, that's why
I
I think it's about 2026. I think that he's going to like that.
Gotcha.
That's what I think is happening.
Okay.
They're looking for any reason to be like, and look, this is now happening in 2026. Like we are seeing this is the federal government does not run elections. States run elections. But just this week, Trump said we should nationalize elections. We have seen so much election interference and like trying to meddle with the election. And that's what I think this is about, is I think that they're looking for evidence that in 2026 they can use to be like, you know, this is not right. This is false. And so that's what I think. It's
okay.
Like,
that makes sense.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah. Cause I was kind of like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I mean, not to be like that person again, but I feel like this is just more chatter into the ether to like distract people, and it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't think there's going to be a true election ever again unless there's like some huge like revolution or something that's going to happen. Like something huge needs to happen to change this.
My like only, I don't know. I'm like of two minds of this. This is like a longer conversation. I very, 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 very worry about free and fair elections in 2026. But the only way to combat that is for it to be quote unquote too big to rig. Is like every single person, like I'm going to go be a poll worker. Like not only am I going to vote, I'm going to go stand out in front of polls in places where like ICE might show up to make sure that people get in. Like we have to be so, like they're clearly trying to meddle with it, but I also don't want to like pre-capitulate. I want to be like, hey, everybody, like, let's get it. Like, let's just take it super, super seriously because like there's fuckery about for sure.
So we got to choose to still believe in democracy.
Yeah, exactly. We got to choose so freaking hard because otherwise we just fall into their, if we're like, okay, I guess it's never going to be real again. They're like, great, perfect. We didn't even have to like kill anybody to get there, you know? So
did y'all see yesterday when somebody asked Caroline Levitt about if there will be ICE present by the polls? And she does the thing that like any dumb blonde bitch, and I think I speak for all dumb blonde bitches, do when they don't have an answer to the question, where she's just mean. Like she'll just be like, she just does this thing where she'll be like, what a ridiculous question to even ask. That's like that is a silly hypothetical question. And I mean, I think that is one of the ways that I think they will try to, even if ICE isn't actually at the polls, they're going to scare people to think that ICE will be at the polls.
There's a reason why that map that I was telling you about overlays directly on the places where they don't want people to vote. Like it is not an accident that more than 6 months ahead of the midterms, people are getting used to ICE being in these very specific places. Like we got to make this too big to rig. I really think that's the only possible way.
Wait, Rebecca, I love it. Too big to rig. That's
the slogan there.
Vienna trademark. Y'all, the elections might not happen, but I will tell you what is probably going to happen. The Super Bowl. And Rebecca's incredible rendition of the NFL theme song.
Is that it? Did I get it right?
Yesterday. Y'all, we have with us today Megan Gailey. You know her from The Tonight Show and the host of the Sports Bitches podcast. And I will say the whitest thing in the world right now. I actually have seen Megan perform multiple times, have watched her comedy for years, and I did have to make sure I was pronouncing her name right today. I did have to look it up, and I was like, Meredith, your name and Megan's name are the same name.
Yes, they are. I actually was rushing to put a 5-minute face on because as I was looking back through our DMs, the first time we ever interacted, you sent me a DM that said, I think we look alike. And I was like, well, I can't come on here looking awful because then Meredith's going to spiral for the whole weekend. So I did my best.
We do kind of look alike, I think.
I see it. I get it.
Just the eyes.
Sports Bitches is the funniest name for it's like right out of 30 Rock. Sports
Thank
Bitches
you.
is like such a funny name for a podcast.
Thank you. Now, do I think it's held us back? Probably, but we would like to be honest about what you're getting when you come to it. And there's 3 of us, and I am the bitchiest one by far. I qualify as hard C word. And then the other 2, one's Canadian, so it's like not a bitchy bone in her body. Other one is not bitchy either. So I guess it's just me.
It's just sports bitch.
Sports bitch.
You know what though? I appreciate that. You always need like one person who's going to come in as the bitch.
Yeah.
Right.
And it is me. And in my best friend circle, there's one even crazier than me. And that's always nice for me where I'm like, oh, I get to like be normal at this dinner. Wow, crazy.
Rebecca and I are business partners, and we just I think we just hand it back and forth. We just hand the bitch baton back and forth.
I also think we have different styles of bitch. I think we are like, I think we are both bitches in different ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're gonna take this offline. I can't wait to hear.
I mean, honestly, I have guesses, but
well, let's talk about a bunch of bitches, aka the NFL. It's the Super Bowl, and it's the Seahawks and the New England Patriots playing. And for our purposes,
you guys came in with your Patriots shirts, and I was like, "What?
Crazy."
You guys, this is a circa 2002.
Wow.
I don't know
Vintage.
what year was this when they won the Super Bowl?
Oh, I'm so bad at who is it? Does it say who they played in that Super Bowl?
No, it's
So
just
we're
like
gonna get
says
to why
facts.
I
It's
hate
all
the
facts all
Patriots,
over it.
but the fact that like there's already Super Bowl shirts from like not that long ago is devastating to me.
Oh, Vienna's telling us it's 2014. Vienna, I was absent in 3rd grade the day we did Roman numerals, and I was like, I remember coming in the next day and being like, "Yeah, I'm not going to do this. I'm never going to learn these. We can
Nope,
just keep
never
going."
gonna. This Super Bowl is Super Bowl 60. I do know that.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
that feels sort of like a big year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
60 years of head trauma. Okay. But I want to talk a little bit about the Bad Bunny of it all, because I saw a video that you did about it. I thought it was really interesting. The NFL has historically not been particularly quote unquote woke. And I'm wondering why you think they made the decision to have Bad Bunny. Like, do you think that this is going to be a win for them in the long term, a loss for them in the long term? How do you think it's going to land?
So I'd like to preface all of this by saying I hosted a show for the NFL. I have been an employee of them. My husband has been an employee of them. Every single one of my closest friends has worked for the NFL. The number one thing the NFL cares about is money. So they looked at this. They ran the numbers. They decided very strategically with their accountants, with their books, that this was going to get some pushback and that there were going to be people saying, I don't want to watch this. And they said, fine. But we literally, the profit outweighs any loss that we would get from a Turning Point halftime show. So is it coming at a specifically like good time, given how demoralized certain communities in the United States feel? Absolutely. Was that the NFL's goal? No, they sort of went into that ass backwards. I saw Roger Goodell asked about Bad Bunny's speeches and things he's been saying specifically at the Grammys, and he backed him up. And I was shocked by that. Like, that is not how the NFL is. This is not a DEI Super Bowl. This is not a woke Super Bowl. This is we want to make a bunch of fucking money. And our goal is for international expansion. And no one helps us do that better than the biggest international star in the world. And I've been loving the like downloads that have been like yesterday I saw it was like 85 million downloads a month is Bad Bunny. And then all of the Turning Point
18.5.
18 combined 18.5. And so it's like, yeah, is there a world where like maybe they talked about Taylor Swift? Sure. They've already got all the Swifties. So Bad Bunny puts them in front of new people in new households in new countries, and that is their goal.
I hadn't even thought about the international, because it is like the NFL is so American. Sorry, you guys. I'm mostly listening because I don't know about. I'm not a sports bitch. I'm just a regular bitch.
We're happy to have you. We want all bitches, male, female, non-binary. All bitches welcome. They played a game in Brazil last year. They play games in London every year, Germany. Like, if you talk to anyone close to them or at the top of the NFL, their number one goal is expansion. So they want to be an international league. They want to have teams based in other countries. That is the specific goal, and no one allows them to do that better than a Bad Bunny Super Bowl.
Yeah, literally the biggest star in the world. Am I wrong? But did I hear that Jay-Z is the one that picks who it is, or he has like a hand in this and selecting?
I think he's a consultant in some way. I also saw that they were like polling NFL players, and they were like, less than half of NFL players want this. And it's like, there's no way you asked every NFL player. I'm sure the pollster calls, they're like, bye. So it's like, yes. Are there racist men that play in the NFL? Yeah. Are there men with brain damage playing the NFL? Yeah. And
a lot of gay ones too.
A lot of gay ones. But Sam Darnold, who is the quarterback for the Seahawks, came out and was like, I love Bad Bunny. I'm so excited. And he has no reason to say that. He's not even going to be able to watch the halftime show. You know, he's playing in the game. Right, yeah. So I think people are like looking for a reason to be mad about this. And it's like the NFL simply does not care because it is going to profit them financially.
Can I ask? Sorry. Go ahead, Meredith.
No, you go ahead, Rebecca. I've just some This is fucking.
No, this
food
is
for
really
thought.
fascinating. I'm just curious because I feel like one of the things that I've watched happen over the past 10 years, but I guess 20 years, is like the death of the monoculture. Like there really aren't that many things that we used to all watch the same stuff. And I feel like the Super Bowl is like the last of the monoculture. Do you think that this is actually the end of the monoculture, or like, give me a break, like 3 people are going to watch Kid Rock? Like, I mean, numbers aside, like, do you think this is the end of the Super Bowl monoculture?
I don't know. I will say my husband just got back from San Francisco last night. He was there doing something for the Super Bowl, and he was like, it couldn't have been more dead. And sometimes that just happens. When it was in Los Angeles, I was telling my friends the Super Bowl is here. And they were like, it is? Like there's certain cities where it just doesn't permeate because there's enough going on. I don't think, no offense to our Patriots gals, I don't think people are excited about this matchup necessarily. You know, it's sort of like 2 unknown teams, even though everybody has been like being like, please, we don't want the Chiefs and the Eagles anymore. Right. And like we finally got that. And now everyone's like, oh, it's the Patriots again? Like what? So people did, I think a lot of the country like kind of wanted the Bills or was rooting for the Bears to have this storied season. Matt Stafford with the Rams ended up winning the MVP last night. And like, he probably would have retired. Like there are probably better quote unquote storylines. I will say, having worked for the NFL, you will sometimes be tagged in posts or something and you get to see who hates the NFL. And it is so funny because it is the far right. The far right hates the NFL and thinks that they are full woke, full DEI. Like they think that Colin Kaepernick is still playing and running the league. Like they're so delusional in what they believe. And then you have the farthest left. Too.
Yeah.
And so, you know, which there are valid complaints about safety. And like, if you are still a fan of the NFL and have progressive leaning politics, you are having to take it upon yourself to go, I'm going to have some conscious fandom and go, listen, I like this team and this guy, and I don't like this guy. And I don't want to see this owner, Robert Kraft, who's dear friends with Donald Trump, succeed. You know, like you do sort of have to go into it accepting that there is some bad there.
Yeah. Well, I do want to just say,
a true blood sport,
right? This is where we just, you know, this is where the show just changes and we make a big reveal to Megan. I fucking hate the Patriots.
Okay.
What? I fucking hate the Patriots.
Carolina's like, what am I doing here? I was lured here under false pretenses.
I hate the Patriots. The only person that I care about in football right now is my one and only true love, Shador Sanders. That's
Love
the
him.
only, I'm a
Who made the Pro Bowl? Who made the Pro Bowl?
That's my boy right there. That's my boy. Okay. But I don't like I'm not a Patriots fan at all and haven't been for probably since about 2003, 2004. Like it was fun.
Right after you got your shirt.
Right after I got my shirt. I love an underdog. Okay. And as soon as the Patriots stopped feeling like underdogs, I was like, fuck this shit. Right. And I don't like the Crafts. And I think the Patriots, are in a way, they're like the worst of what the NFL represents because they have done so many egregious things and yet they always kind of like, they're always able to sort of wash their hands of it. And so my question to you is, what do you think the fallout will be, if any, from the way that Bob Kraft shows up in the Epstein files? And if people aren't familiar with it, let me break it down for you. I will have you know, Bob Kraft was one of the first names that I searched for because actually I searched for Jonathan first because fuck Jonathan. And then I searched for Bob. And the way that
messy.
The way that Bob shows up in the files is there doesn't appear to be any direct communication between Jeffrey Epstein and Bob Kraft. But what there is Jeffrey Epstein sort of helping Bob Kraft's friends think about lawyers for Bob Kraft after he is arrested for solicitation of a prostitution at a massage parlor in 2019. Now, what I also found interesting was like some of these emails too are like, hey, check it out, Bob Kraft. I think he's going to take the heat off you a little bit, Jeffrey. Like, and so I'm wondering, will there be any fallout for Bob Kraft appearing in the Epstein files this way?
I don't think so. I don't think him specifically. And I do think about those women who were the sex workers quite often, because I'm like, I know that they were removed from this country. You know, like he was the one who engaged in a criminal act. It's sex work. I think all of us here are probably pro sex work if it is amongst two consenting adults and there is a safety to it and whatever. He's faced no punishment for that.
Right.
And shame, embarrassment, but like it's people forget about it. Now I have seen the Giants owner. I believe it's Stephen Tisch. I know his last name is Tisch. He is mentioned in it. And I have seen some Giants players be like, I don't want to play for him. Now, whether that comes to fruition, we'll see. I do believe that the Commanders, one of their co-owners, is also mentioned in it, which is crazy because they just got rid of the worst owner. Like they finally were able to get rid of Daniel Snyder, who is an actual evil, predatory little scumbag. And for the NFL to remove an owner is crazy. It is the hardest league for that to happen by a lot. And they finally got him out. Now they have new co-ownership. There's a couple different owners involved, and one of them is in the Epstein files.
Isn't there also always, like I said, isn't there often like big sex trafficking operations around the Super Bowl? Am I getting that? Like, isn't there?
So it is considered the largest like gathering of sex workers, you know, like that is the biggest like import of that weekend. I remember like reading articles about women who travel internationally to be able to come to the cities. And then last year there was a tragic death of a reporter who solicited as a sex worker, then died in New Orleans. I believe it was like a drug overdose. Like it just is one of those things, kind of like CTE, kind of like every single owner is a billionaire. And like, we could rank them as to like, who's best to worst easily. There is just that undercurrent. The World Cup is also a massive sex work convention.
Oh God, we can't enjoy anything. Everything is tied to the darkness.
It is like, you know, I hope these gals are making good money. I'm born and raised in Indianapolis, and the Super Bowl was here. And the like rumor always was that they flew in strippers from Miami, Houston, Atlanta, because they were like, Indy doesn't have the goods we need. You know, we gotta ship the product in for this weekend.
I remember reading a blind item. I think it was like 3 years ago when the Super Bowl was in Arizona. I can't remember. About a certain, let's just say a certain celebrity who is a special interest of mine, who changed his name to something that rhymes with mood bod. And he was complaining, food god. Okay, this is about food god, guys. Food God allegedly complaining about the price of male escorts.
I remember this.
Because they were just too expensive. Which I say, you guys, if you're working with Food God this weekend, charge him more.
Yeah,
drain him.
I've never heard of anyone complain about the price of sex workers in Arizona. Like it's like, you sound cheap, sir. You sound a little like
a huge problem, honey.
Yeah, and I hope you're tipping 20%.
Yeah.
Well, I have a really last question for you. Do you think that people are going to turn into the Turning Point USA Super Bowl halftime? No.
I think there's a chance.
Kid Rock and 3 people we've never heard of.
No,
I'm
That's not-
surprised Jelly Roll's not on there.
I think there's a
I think
chance
Nicki Minaj.
people, you know how like sometimes you'll turn on Fox News to be like, what are they talking about? You know, I think there's a chance perhaps that happens, but I also think people don't want to give it any ratings numbers. What's really does big numbers is the Puppy Bowl. The Puppy Bowl is like a rating success. Like if you don't like football, there are other things, but I think this Super Bowl halftime show is going to be a massive hit.
I agree.
Yes.
I am so
and they're calling it
excited.
the All American show. Bad Bunny is All American, honey.
I'm really excited. I think Cardi B will be there. Like, I think there's going to be wins. I think in the way that Kendrick, it was like, listen, he's the biggest star of the moment. That's who we're going to have. And then inherently, if you get Kendrick, you're going to get some like, we're going to talk about race. We're going to talk about police violence. That is what is the undercurrent. So it's like, this is going to be pro Puerto Rico. It's going to be pro Latino. It's going to be beautiful. Look at this man. Look at this man. Like so many people, myself included. It's like, I started listening to Bad Bunny like a few months ago just because he was pissing everybody off. And you're like,
I think
he's finding new fans.
Yes, I agree. Fully. Yeah.
Well, how about this, you guys? Let's let Bad Bunny have his year, and then 2027, how about some counter programming? Let's have the Bitch Bowl, and just Megan, Rebecca, and I can just square off on being the biggest bitch, and Carolina can judge us. Like
Carolina, you're welcome to be a bitch too. Now that I see a Puerto Rican tambourine, I want you in.
I love this. Wait, can I also say I have like close to zero interest in sports, and I found this absolutely fascinating, Megan. Like you just convinced me that this is actually super interesting, and a business question and a political question and a culture question. So like you keep being a bitch out there.
Thank you. And that is honestly my approach to sports coverage. I think there's an entry point for every single person. And that is how we talk on Sports Bitches. And there's no better like time or celebration of women that is happening in sports too. So if you don't think you like sports, you just haven't found someone who speaks your language in it yet.
Megan, remind everyone where they can find you. Yeah.
I just found mine.
Thank you. My Instagram is Better Megan Gailey. We post lots of content, lots of clips. I got off TikTok. I'm off X. I'm on Threads. I would really love people to check out my Substack. I'm going to be releasing an album a special, a full length 60-minute special. And it'll be on Substack for purchase before it goes onto YouTube. Nice. I write a lot about motherhood, sports, Bravo. I'm a Bravo bitch too. So I just connect with me. Go see live comedy as long as it's not a man who had Trump on his podcast, and go Bad Bunny.
Yes, Megan, come back.
Thank you. I would love to.
Okay. Thank you so much, Megan.
Bye.
You guys,
love her.
Bowl is having a moment.
Yeah.
Huge.
Right?
I'm so excited. I'm bringing this to the bar with me.
Oh, give us a little shake.
Yeah.
You get...
Woo!
Yes.
Or should I bring the cowbell? I don't know. I'm just
Are you also gonna bring the candle that you lit before? Like throw up the candle.
I am. And well, like he said in his Grammy speech, it's all about love, and we just need to put more love out there, guys. Yeah.
We can't have her bring the candle because she'll get like kicked out. Like that's an open.
Yeah,
phone.
that's true.
To the bar. Okay, I won't bring the candle, but I will bring the maracas.
Carolina, who do you think he's gonna? Cardi B. I was thinking, especially after Megan was talking about the international presence. I feel like Rosalia will be there. I feel like maybe Karol G.
The way that he's been moving lately, I feel like there might not be any. And it's just going to be all a Bad Bunny show.
Interesting.
Like Rihanna, she didn't have any guests.
That's true. Rihanna said, I'm going to do the bare minimum and you're going to love it.
And I think the casita that he's been using in his tour is going to be there. And it's just going to be, there's going to be fireworks. It's going to be amazing. And I have a prediction for the first song.
Ooh.
And it's Chambea. which was
Mhm.
his big first hit. So it's like there's a sample from like The Wizard of Oz, and it starts like ba 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 ba, and it's just gonna be freaking epic. And I'm gonna cry, and I'm gonna make a lot of white people uncomfortable around me at the bar, and it's gonna be a good time. I'm like,
I want to
honestly,
see
I could.
where somebody is filming you, like as he starts, so that we can get the react. Like, I want to see the reaction when your prediction comes true. Like, I
You know
really
what?
want.
I love setting up a tripod, so I will set up a tripod in the bar.
Carolina Cam. Yes.
Where are you gonna
Carolina
watch?
Camp.
Without
Maybe I'll
like,
go
I don't want to
live.
dox you. Where are you gonna watch? You gonna go out?
I'm gonna go to this place called the Green Room in Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah, I
Okay.
know the green room.
Yeah, we got a table. We're gonna get food. It's gonna be lit. We got the whole situation all ready to go.
Can I just be the white part of me that is also a millennial? I also love that Green Day is playing with him.
Yes,
Like, I
they're
really
opening.
think that the NFL said, like, let's double down. You know what
They're
I mean?
really
Like,
leaning into it, even though it's
Mhm.
like a blood sport and everything's tied to Epstein and like pedophiles running the world.
Sure.
We're gonna find some joy with this halftime performance.
I really do feel like there's going to be a little bit of like a primal scream here, like something about throwing Green Day in the mix. And it's like, I just remember American Idiot when we were all in Iraq, and just to be like, yeah, fuck this. It feels like a big fuck this.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
gonna
like
be
there's-
cathartic for sure.
There's kind of like a monolith culture moment happening too, because we have the Olympics. Like, I feel like
Oh,
monolith culture is going to have this little moment over the next couple of months. But speaking of moments, Rebecca, what's having a moment for you right now?
So I'm like going to take the energy a little bit back down, unfortunately, but also fortunately, because one of the things that I feel like didn't get enough attention this week is like a bunch of the victims, I guess, of like the Minneapolis raids testified in front of Congress. And one of the women, like, do you remember there was a woman who's autistic and she got pulled out of her car, and there's this like horrific picture of her looking at the ground. Aliyah Rahman, I think is her name.
Yeah.
It's worth watching the entirety of her testimony, because she really like takes her moment to be like, fuck the police state, fuck ICE, fuck wait. Like, she is just so clear and loud. But I want to play 30 seconds of it. It's the whole thing is like 6 minutes, but like I do recommend like the absolute bravery and like the 10 toes down of this woman. So I have 30 seconds to play because she's having a moment for me.
And brown bodies shackled together, chained together, being marched by yelling agents outdoors. I continue to hear the word bodies because that is how agents refer to us. We're bringing in a body. They're bringing in bodies, 7, 8 at a time. Where do I put them? We can't use that room. There's already a body in there. You have no reason to believe you will make it out alive if you are already being called a body.
So that was her testimony from being in the Whipple detention center. And like, it's like I said, it's just worth watching the whole thing, because like you could tell that she was like, I have 7 minutes to put in historical record what police and ICE do to Black and brown people in this country and what they did to me specifically. And she really, it's like she speaks with so much power.
She ate that.
She ate that.
Wow.
So that's what's having a moment.
That.
Yeah, no, it really, you watch it and you're like, look, there are, I don't want to say glimmers of hope, but like there are heroes out there. Like, that woman did her job. She went in front of Congress and was like, for the history books, this is what happened to me. And it's not happening in a vacuum. And it didn't just happen to me. And like, she just like, she leaves no crumbs on the ground for anybody. And it just like, it didn't get enough attention. It couldn't possibly get enough attention, but it also even still didn't get enough attention. So.
Yeah.
What's having a
moment for you?
Can I have a moment?
Please give us a moment.
It's much lighter. That was very wonderful, Rebecca.
Sorry, I brought us down.
No, that was fantastic. I follow this TikTok page. I think her name is like Sarah Magic or something, and she makes sandwiches. Does she make sandwiches? So she made toasts the other day, and she made a toast with ricotta and fig jam. I had leftover ricotta because I made a lasagna during the snowstorm. It was delicious. And I stole some of my roommate's fig jam, and wow, I am hooked. I recommend that everybody try it and get your own jam. But it's very, very good. And find Sarah Magic if you can. All of her sandwiches are very inspirational.
I
Love
want a
it.
sandwich.
Ricotta
I-
and fig is like an elite combo, you know?
Yeah,
Ricotta
love
and fig
fig.
jam. I would have never thought of that.
Yeah,
I was just
totally.
like,
that
life is
sounds
good.
delicious.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what's having a moment for me. It feels a little
Tell us.
2002 coded, but has anybody seen Tom Brady crashing out in his Instagram stories?
No.
Or-
Oh,
What is he doing?
you guys, Tom Brady's got a crush. And who it's
On
on,
Alex
I don't
Earl?
know.
His son?
I mean, I don't know how Tom Brady fully identifies, but Vienna is screaming on mute right now. But if you haven't seen it, and maybe I should have sent Vienna a photo in advance, but if you haven't seen it, basically like Tom Brady's been putting up selfies like of him like laying in bed, like time to go back to bed.
Like a thirst trap like I used to
Yes.
make like years ago. Totally.
Yes. And then it'll be like
Okay.
moved from bed to couch, and it's like another photo. And I just feel like Tom Brady never got to be 23.
Yeah.
And
That's
we're
so true.
seeing the effects of it now. So if you're somebody who's young and watching this and you're like, God, like this time is so hard.
Oh my God. Wow.
So this is what you do on a Sunday. I mean, this is a man who never got to really like be, I mean, like he's gotten to be dumb because he's so rich and privileged and stuff, but he never got to like post a thirst trap and
Yeah.
hope that his
The
crush was
freedom.
So like this is like a gendered picture. I don't know how else to put it, but like this is so girly, right?
Yeah.
Like this is like he's being a girl, and like I love this for him.
girlhood.
I'm disturbed. I don't like this image. Please remove it from the screen.
Get this out of my sight. Right?
Who
Do
do
you
you
know what I'm saying? Is like there's some
Yes,
there
thank
go.
you.
Palette cleanser.
Alex.
Who do you think he is trying to get the attention of?
That's what I was gonna ask you.
Probably some model. He's definitely lonely,
I mean,
you know?
who isn't?
Yeah. That's so it's so clear. Like now that I've seen the image, I'm like, yeah, this is classic
He's
girl.
like,
flirting.
Sydney Sweeney, let's do a collab.
Sydney Sweeney, that's a good one.
Vienna's saying Alex Earl, and I also think Alex Earl because the thing about Sydney
Ooh.
Sweeney is I don't feel like she's on Instagram a lot. Also, she's dating Scooter Braun, but like Sydney doesn't feel like Instagrammy to me, but Alex is definitely like in DMs, etc. Just because she's like an internet first
Weren't
person.
they also like seen together?
They were
in
seen canoodling.
parts? Yeah.
Yes. So I think he's also like, how do I communicate with her?
Trying to be
Like,
young.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
you're
also
so
she
right.
is
It is
23,
so Alex
right?
Earl.
She's like very young. Yeah.
yeah, she's so young. But the thing is, like, this isn't even like young coded, it's also dated. Like the way
Yes,
he's doing
yes.
this is also so
Totally.
dated.
Like, he might as well
So
be a
Down
boomerang.
to the font, the emoji repetition, like
Yep.
the face, everything. It's just like,
He might as
you
well
know,
have,
he's
like,
got
the
that
dog
Alex Earl
filter.
ring
Do you know
light
what I'm
on.
talking about?
yes, the dog filter.
Might as
Yes.
well have
he-
the puppy filter.
Or like, remember the one that was like almost like a 90s TV show where it would be like do 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 do, and it would
Oh,
like zoom in on your face. I loved that one.
I know. I
I
miss
was a flower crown girly.
Flower
Yes.
crown.
So anyway, Tom Brady, if you're seeing this, we see you.
We do see you, literally.
And just know that usually 9 times out of 10, this doesn't end well.
No, it's never once in my life has one of those like just lying in bed like a baby ever ended me in the relationship
guys,
I wanted it to land me in.
Let's look at Hailey Bieber, honestly, because she did it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, but
Tom Brady-
are you envying that fucking situation?
I mean, they kind of like
She's the
flipped
babysitter now.
story there
What
from like the
cost Vienna
Selena
said.
Benny of it
What
all. Now
cost?
they're the bad ones. It's like they're doing pretty good.
I like Haley, but I think the best thing that Haley fucking leave his dumbass because we like you now. We realize you're the best thing that's going on there.
For
So
sure.
fourth co-host,
Fourth co-host?
come on down.
Fourth
You guys,
co-host?
This has been so much fun. We are actually going to be back on Monday with a bonus episode. We're so excited for this. This is really exciting, you guys. Next week, we're actually going to be in studio for the first time ever. Get excited. We're going to do a Monday bonus episode. We're going to be live at 11 a.m. PST. 2 p.m. EST with Jessica Valenti from Abortion Every Day. And we are actually going to be looking at Project 2026 from the Heritage Foundation and all the wild ways that they want to control basically everything. Like
They need a new one?
Yeah.
They
They dropped a new one.
And it's about your pussy. Sorry. Like it is fully beginning and ending at like controlling your uterus.
You know what? I'm gonna log off now, guys. I gotta go take a bath.
On that note.
But anyway, come hang out with us on Monday. We'll be live in the studio. We're really excited to try it. And we'll love to hear what you guys think of the studio. And then we'll be back with our regular Tuesday and Friday programming.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for having me, guys. Bye.
Bye.